One of the primary purposes of pass rush, the primary fundamentals, is to get on the edge of the blocker and to work your way around him. We teach our players that we cannot run into the blocker head on. We cannot block ourselves, and that's what you're doing when you do that. We try to get on the edge. We know we can't run over the blockers and put cleat marks on their chest in this league, and I don't think in any league, so we try to work the edges in everything we do. Now, to get around an offensive blocker, you've got to get your pads, your shoulder pads, and your hips turned. To emphasize that, what really happens is that there's a foot shuffle in there, or there's a foot crossover as you work around the guy as you're jetting up the field to the quarterback. We work this every day to get the feel of it. Our demo man, Tony Williams, is going to show you how we go right, left, around these 4 Gilman pop-up dummies. We use the Gilman pop-ups for a lot of things on defense, especially in the pass rush work. Now, the key here is the footwork. He's going to reach like he's reaching against that blocker, and he's going to get himself bind. He's trying to get perpendicular to the blocker's pads. If his shoulder pads are perpendicular to the blocker's pads, then he's ready to make a move. If he makes his move in front of the blocker, they react to it and stop him. So this is what Tony is demonstrating. Out of way, good footwork, reach it out there, get the pads turned, get the hips turned, get on the edge of the blocker so you got a chance to make a move. Very good. Now, to emphasize this, the movement of the feet, and the fact that we do shuffle by a guy when we rush, we're going to go all the way around the dummy this time. You can work this with your guys. You can have 4 of them going at once if you have 4 dummies. Tony this time is going to reach, and he's going to shuffle all the way around the blocker, once to his right and once to his left. Are we ready, Tony? Work them hard, good. That's just an exaggeration, that away. Good, thank you, of what really happens. Now, sometimes in a rush, you'll notice if you watch film, like all the films I've seen, sometimes a rusher actually crosses over. There's nothing wrong with that. He's trying to get his pads turned to get by and get skinny on the offensive blocker. So sometimes we do this drill as a change-up where Tony is actually going to cross his feet over as he works around the dummy rather than just shuffle, because that happens in the rush sometimes. Tony's going to go once to the right and once to the left with a crossover. Okay, Tony, go. There we go. Work them quick, work those hips. Good. Out of way. All right, you got the idea? They got to get turned. A second important fundamental is the fact that once we get on the edge of that blocker, like we just demonstrated in the shuffle drill and the turn drill, is when we get by him, we must sink the inside hip, and we must point the toe of the inside foot at the quarterback so that we go as tight as possible around the blocker. We don't want to waste any steps going upfield after we've defeated our blocker. It gives the quarterback a longer time to get rid of it. So what you're going to see in this demo by Stalin is once he defeats the blocker and the quarterback's inside to his right, he's going to sink that right hip and point that right toe perpendicular to that quarterback. If he's defeated a left guard or a left tackle and the quarterback's in there when he comes to the next dummy, he's going to sink that left hip and point that left foot at the quarterback to make it as flat as possible, as tight to the offensive blocker as possible, sinking the hip and accelerating through the block. Stalin will demonstrate this coming up right, left, or whichever direction he starts with. Good. Point that toe, sink that hip, and point that toe.